Hello, this is Kirill from forexboat.com, and this is our fifth tutorial in the series of MQL4 tutorials for complete beginners. Last time we talked about logical expressions and Boolean variables, and that information is going to be very handy to us today because we're going to be talking about the while loop. So what is the while loop and what does it consist of? While loop consists of three parts. So it's the word while, then followed by normal brackets within which is a logical expression, which we'll call ABC for now, and then there are curly brackets within which is the actual body of the while loop. The way this structure works is when the program moving from the top of the code gets to this line, it will check if this expression is actually true. So it will check if true. If the expression is true, then the program will execute the code which is located in the curly brackets. And after executing the body of the while loop, the program will move back to the start of the while loop. And it will once again check if this expression is true. If it is true, then the program will execute the body one more time. After which it will go back to the start of the loop and it will check the expression again. And so every time the expression is true, the body of the loop will be executed. This will continue happening until the expression is found to be false. As soon as the expression is false, the program will ignore the body of the while loop and will move on to executing any code that follows. So that's basically how the while loop works. Let's look at a simple example. We're going to here we're going to type in an alert. I'm going to say hello, and here we're going to just put in a false statement, and above just for controlling purposes we'll put in another alert. We'll say start of script. Get rid of these empty lines. Alright, so we can compile that, go to the MetaTrader 4 platform, and we'll see what we get. Tutorial 5. As you can see, we only get one message which says start of script. We do not see a message saying hello. And why is that? Well, that's simple. It's because after executing this alert, the program gets to the while loop, checks the expression. The expression is false, so it doesn't execute the body, completely ignores it, and moves on to the rest of the program, in which in our case it's nothing, and it just basically completes the script. So what else we can do is we can replace false with true, and in this case, because this expression will always be true, the program will get stuck executing this body of the loop on and on forever, basically, and we'll get what is called an infinite loop. That means that the program will get stuck here, and that will cause MetaTrader 4 to hang. So we don't want that, and that's why we're not going to compile and execute this script. But what we will do is we'll look at a more practical option. Let's introduce a variable called counter, and we'll set it to 1 initially. And then here we'll check if counter is less than 3. And inside the alert, instead of saying hello, we'll just print out the value of counter. And after the alert, we will add a statement that increases counter by 1. So this statement basically takes the old value of counter, adds 1, and assigns that to counter, meaning a simple increment of counter. So what will happen in this version of the program is, of course, we'll get a message saying start of script. Then the program will create a variable called counter and assign the value of 1 to that variable. Then the program will get here, it'll check if 1 is less than 3, that's true. It'll print out 1. Then it'll set counter equal to 1 plus 1. So it'll increment the value of counter, and counter will be equal to 2. Then after executing the body of the while loop, the program will go back to the start of the while loop. It will check if 2 this time is less than 3. That's true. It'll print out 2, and then it will increase counter by 1 more, making it 3. It'll go back to the start of the while loop. It will check if 3 is less than 3. That is false, and therefore the program will ignore the body of the loop and will move on to executing any code that follows. We're just going to add some control code here as well. We'll say loop has finished. And let's compile that. No mistakes, errors, and let's see what we get in MetaTrader 4. So start of script 1, so that's the first iteration of the loop. 2, second iteration of the loop, and then that's it. Loop has finished. So as soon as the variable becomes 3, the body of the loop gets ignored and the program moves on to executing this last line. So that brings us to the end of this tutorial. I hope you found this information useful, and hopefully you can work a little bit with this while loop and make some versions of your own. More information and tutorials are available on forexboat.com, and I hope you will join me again for the next tutorial, and until then, happy coding!